Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I'm sitting here eating breakfast, and I remembered that I just saw something before I took my shower that just kind of got my ears perked up a little bit in regards to the LA Lakers and what's possible for us in regards to making trades. Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets is somebody that the Charlotte Hornets are not expected to bring back next season. I don't know why. I mean, I have an idea that obviously his off the court issues were what they were, but as far as what they need on the court, he should not be the player they're looking to extract from the team at all. But since that's something that they're looking to do, I think the LA Lakers is the perfect spot for him. He's a two-way guy, defensive guy, one of the most athletic rim runners in the world. He's definitely somebody who's going to put pressure on the rim for us and rebound the ball, and he just doesn't make too many mistakes on the basketball court. Now, off the basketball court, he has some issues and some baggage and stuff like that that he's going to have to work through. Character stuff that may be present that may not be favorable to anybody, really. But on the court, he's somebody you need on your team, and he's somebody who can bring you over the top. The Lakers have been having issues with the shooting guard position. He is not a shooting guard, but you can move some people around to make him fit. And if you have to play him at the shooting guard, I'm pretty sure he'll, at certain stints, play fantastic at that position because he has all the skills. He's just a bit bigger than you want him to be playing the shooting guard, no different than Bron. But you put him next to Rui, although you'll probably have to trade Rui to get him. I have envisioned him being on the same team with Rui and Bron, and you got three big-body dudes down there that can play both sides of the floor that are ultimately going to be looking to hammer it home and create a lot of problems mismatch-wise. They're going to be difficult to guard. So for me, Zach LaVine would be a nice pickup, even though I don't love his contract. I think Miles Bridges would probably be a better contract for us and a better pickup in some ways. He's going to do some of the same stuff that Zach's going to do, and he's going to play much more defense than Zach at a lesser price. So, different position, same idea. Get a super athlete who can run and fly. And like I said, Miles, in my opinion, I could argue he's a more potent defensive player for sure. So for me, you know, looking at Miles Bridges where he was 2 years ago before his issues arose, he was practically playing all-star ball. In fact, I can make an argument he was snubbed. And the way he started the season was literally just perfect. Basically, he wasn't missing many shots, and he was just locking people up on the other side. And since he is so naturally athletic, you can clearly see after being away from the game for two years, he comes back and is the same player. Like he's genetically different. And so I think that's what the Lakers are looking for. And that's exactly what I want us to bring to ourselves. If we can get him, I think the Lakers should be looking to put a package together and send to Charlotte to get him. I don't know that the Lakers would want to bring him in from the character issues and all of that, but you're talking about bringing in somebody who's going to likely be more so expected to stay healthy like Russell was, genetically different, as I've already said twice, and just somebody who's going to play both sides of the floor and not make too many mistakes. And that's really what we're looking for. And then someone who's only going to get better, still fairly young. I don't think he's older than 26, 27 years old. And so Miles Bridges is the exact type of player you want to bring in entering his prime and expect it to play at this level for a very long time. I don't see why the Lakers wouldn't be interested. In fact, I think they should be extremely interested. Probably more so interested in him than they are in some of the stuff that they're looking at. And so that's what I want my Lakers to do. If there's a way to bring Miles Bridges to this team, I want Rob Pelinka to do so. Within reason, of course. We don't want to give up stuff we have no business giving up in a trade like that. And I don't know what Charlotte's going to ask for. So there is a threshold for what I'd be willing to give up to get him. But he is the exact type of piece that I think would not only electrify our crowd, but help us on the basketball floor. And so that's really what it's about, man. You can't imagine the type of lobs that Bron is going to be able to give to a guy like that. In transition, it's going to be absolutely insane. And so that's the type of thing that you're thinking about. And come playoff times, when you need a half-court player, he can buckle down, play some defense in the half-court, and buckle down and hit some open shots as well, I believe. So I don't see too many holes in his game, not from an offensive or defensive perspective. And I think the Lakers should really be serious about bringing him in, man, before other teams get a whiff of what it is that I just found and start to put together packages for this player. I don't think his price tag is going to be too high because of the off the court stuff, which is also makes him more intriguing. However, if he's able to distance himself from that stuff, you're going to have to pay him top dollar. So I don't see him staying. He's probably going to end up leaving. But nevertheless, while we're trying to do this in this particular timeline, trying to win, he's a massive upgrade from what it is that we're running out there. Massive upgrade. So, like I said, you probably have to give up Rui. They're going to want a player similar to that, but I think he's an upgrade from Rui, honestly. That doesn't mean I want to get rid of Rui. But, it is what it is. I don't expect that people see him as a higher level than DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine, but I can argue that he's probably going to be a better player for you just because of his big body and his defensive expectations for himself. And so those guys are not defensive players. They're going to be offensive guys, and they're aging. Well, DeMar is, even though DeMar's contract is more favorable than probably anybody's expiring at that level. But I don't look at DeMar DeRozan as somebody who I expect to get us over the hump. My issue with DeMar DeRozan has always been here. He's a very hard-working, progressing player, but when he goes up against certain players in certain situations, his teams crumble, and he's usually the ones leading those teams. Bron James, prime example. I just look at him as Bron food, man. I really do. With all due respect to the guy, because I respect him off the court, but he's somebody whose teams, as soon as he runs to Bron James, they just crumble every year. And I have no interest in bringing that to me. You know what I mean? I don't. Not as a fan of the team. I know what he can bring to the table, scoring the ball, the piece is interesting, but it's just a mentality thing, man. And so for me, it's like, I want a killer on the team. I need an athlete, a killer, and somebody who's going to play both sides of the floor. And while DeMar DeRozan is a proven all-star, when it comes down to winning time, LeBron just usually pushes him over. Just get out the way. It's one of those type of things, and I'm just not interested in making that particular type of person LeBron's teammate. Because if he can push you out the way, then can he actually win with you? And so that's always been my thing. DeMar DeRozan just left a bad taste in my mouth with his tenure in Toronto when his teams would run up against Bron and damn near never win a game every single season. It just got to a point where it's like, yo, nah. And then as soon as they get rid of him, bring in Kawhi Leonard, they win the championship. Nah. For me, I'm cool on DeMar DeRozan when it comes to that specific thing. Other than that, he's a pretty solid all-star. He's had stints where you look at him and say, yo, he's playing MVP ball. We know what he can do. But I don't know. I just got this idea in my head that he's not going to contribute to forcing a win in the playoffs. What he's likely going to do is, if we're kind of playing lackluster, he's going to play lackluster too. And I think that's the problem we got with our identity right now. Front-running type energy, only show up when we want to. Sometimes if we're on, sometimes we feel like, nah. If it's a tournament game, yeah. If it's not, nah. I don't need that. I want that spirit off of my team. Whatever contributes to that needs to go. Also, I've said a lot about the shooting guard position, but it's a small forward position that really needs to be addressed in regards to our starting small forward, which is another reason why I want to bring in a guy like Miles Bridges, who's more of a traditional small forward than Rui Hachimura is, more of an offensive threat, and doesn't render Vanderbilt to the 3 position. We can kind of move Vanderbilt around more if you have a more traditional 3. I need us to move on from Taurean Prince, man. He cannot be my starter if I'm expecting to win a championship. It cannot happen. I've seen enough from him from the first half of the season, and he's not the answer. So that's another reason why I think it should be incumbent upon us, if we don't get Miles Bridges, to make sure we bring us back a traditional 3. DeMar DeRozan may be that for you. If you're a Laker fan, you might see him as a 3. I like that, maybe a 2 in terms of positioning. Zach LaVine is a natural 3, although I don't look at him as very defensive, more of a microwave scorer. Actually, somebody I think can play the 2 probably better. So I want Miles Bridges on this team. I can't think of anybody that comes to mind that's going to be affordable for us, that can do more for us at all. And I just know if you put him in a situation like LA, he's going to electrify the crowd. And if Bron is out, he's somebody who can go for 30 points, 10 rebounds, etc., etc. Basically a star. So that's why I'm looking at Miles Bridges, man. I think he could actually make an all-star team before it's over with. I really do. If he has a healthy season and gets back to who he was, which he looks like he's doing, that's going to happen, in my opinion. So better to get him before that than to identify that while he's doing it on somebody else's team and then go after him after that. That's what we're doing with other players, and I don't care for that, man. Give me the dude right before he becomes what it is he's about to become, and that's why I'm going after a guy like Miles Bridges, who's not too young to where he's contributing to the problems that we have on our team. This pertains on the court, underdeveloped players, but he's not too old to where he already has 6 and 7 All-Stars behind him, and now we're just hopefully he doesn't fall off wearing our uniform. And give me Miles Bridges every time in regards to that. So that's pretty much what I gotta say, man. BDL44. Thank y'all for watching.